Hello. Hello. I didn't get to log in earlier to test out and like fix up that druid build, but honestly, I wasn't really enjoying that druid build. So I'm kind of thinking right now of different ways to actually go about and fix it, but I'm also gonna probably attempt a different build. I'm gonna test out something else, something that I actually want to try out a little bit more. Um, which means I don't want to keep these four. Um,
Make something new with these.
these. But yeah, I didn't like those builds too much, so I kind of want to do something different. And so I'm gonna try a different one. That druid build, it does kind of sadden me that it didn't work too well at all. I have 91 tributes of Titans. Jesus Christ. That's a lot of tributes of Titans. Alright. Let's do it. Chaotic Uniques. Bam. Apparently I need more obols soon, so I gotta run the pit a bit.
Seems kind of scary.
Alright, but yeah, I didn't like that druid build, that hurricane one. I mean, granted, I was on Torment 4, and hurricane isn't meant to go that far, but I was still a little disappointed in it. Because I'm trying to get better at these builds. Trying to get better at making them all work. And I'm going to start trying to get them all able to do Torment 4. Whenever I make a build, I'm going to try to make it all do a good amount of damage. They might not all do like the billions of damage that Earthquake build does now, but I want to make sure that I can get all of them up and running, you know? And so that's what I'm going to start doing soon. Because I kind of like playing some Diablo. And I really like making builds that normal people don't build. Because I find that to be really fun. I find that to be a very fun part of this game, is making builds and seeing how good they do. And I don't necessarily just want those like OP builds. Sometimes I want a build that is just fun to play. Doesn't require a lot of stress behind it. Might not be able to do like pit 100, but you know, not every build needs to. In fact, this build can't even do pit 100, but it can clear Torment 4 pretty quickly. Like, it's pretty efficient at it. That's why I like this build so much, is because it's quick, easy, fun. Doesn't require, like, I have 2 mythics and 2 regular uniques, but it doesn't require those. You could get by without them and probably still be able to do Torment 4 if you have the right stuff. I just have Helm or Air of Perdition because it's such a good helmet. That 60% damage multiplier is so good. Because a lot of the things that increase damage are additive, and that 60% damage multiplier is multiplicative. And it's just so much better. But yeah. So when I say like additive versus multiplicative, there's the multiplicative things multiply your damage by a value. The additive ones add a percentage of your damage onto your output. So the more you multiply your damage, the better, because when you get into larger numbers, multiplying is always a bigger value than addition. Even if you have like a 20% bonus on something, that is a huge increase when you're doing like 1,000,000 damage. So even if it's like 8%, that's still a substantial increase in damage if it's multiplicative. But if it's only additive, then it's going to only add a little bit of extra damage because it'll add on top of all the other damage like add-ins. that you have. Add-ins is a word. I teach math. I know how to, like, math terms. For those of you that don't know what an add-in is, it's the things that you're adding together. So, if you're adding extra damage for your damage multipliers, that would be adding on to the other add-in damage multipliers. I killed them. Okay. Time to kill the boss. It's gonna be the, dude, the little lion dude? Yeah. He's a Lacuni, I believe. Ooh, pants with 2 greater affixes and 2 rings. Let's see what we got. Pants with 2 greater affixes. Protection of the Prime. 450% damage for 4 seconds after dodging an attack. 26% damage reduction while standing still. That's a large amount of damage reduction. While moving, you gain 28% dodge chance. After standing still for 2 seconds, you become unstoppable until you move. 28% dodge chance? Oof. Band of First Breath. I don't really like doing the Spiritborn ones too much. And I don't have a Spiritborn slot on here. Casting Evade consumes 1 stack of Resolve to increase your damage dealt by 30% for 5 seconds. Okay, okay. I do kind of want to try a, to see if you can max out dodge chance. Get like 100% dodge chance. I feel like you are able to. I feel like that's possible. That's a good pair of boots. So let me actually throw that in this tab. Throw that in there. Sweet. Okay. There's a Talrash's Iridescent Loop. Casting a Pyromancy Shock or Frost Skill increases your damage by 11% for 8 seconds, stacking once per element. Casting again refreshes all bonuses if the previous skill was a different element. Maybe. I'm going to throw that in there for selling purposes. Okay, so let's sell some stuff. I'm going to do one more run. But at the moment, I think I might be doing a Talrash's Iridescent Loop build. And I'm not going to be keeping this one because I do have a Talrash's Iridescent Loop. But I'm going to be looking at it and trying to figure out like what I might be able to add on. I really like this Undercity for the chaotic uniques. I like doing this, just run around being like, oh, well, I don't know what I'm going to get, but I'm going to get something. And the thing is, if you have enough characters, the chaotic uniques are just another way of farming unique items. You just don't get to choose what. But if your goal is to just make a random build and see what it can do, then this this Undercity is great for it. Because legitimately, you just get extra damage or extra uniques so you can decide what you want to make. Sweet. Okay. There's 6 classes. I might end up, if You know, if this did make me enough to not have to worry about other things, other forms of income, I'd probably just take like 1 day a week for each class and then just make a new build per class and try them out in each day. If there's 6 classes, 7 days in a week, that would be a pretty good combo. I might do that anyway if I end up with enough free time. It's not like I don't have a lot of free time. I do get quite a bit. It's just got to spend that looking for another job as well. There we go. And yeah, like this Cursed Aura build, I like it a lot. Somebody is texting me. What did they want? Oh, nobody is texting me. That's just an app being like, hey, come back to us. And I'm like, no, thanks. I'm good. I'm good. I'm Master of the Affliction. If I'm ever not on Torment 4, like if I'm on any lower difficulty, this does so much damage. It'll like one-shot most everything it comes across. I am a little concerned because I do know a lot of this damage comes from that Piranado. So I'm a little concerned that the damage output will drop quite a bit when the season ends. But I'm okay with that. Even if this is a one-season build, it's been fun this season. But I want to make sure that it can work out of the season. I say we whenever I'm killing a lot of enemies and enjoying it. Because you say we when you're enjoying like a roller coaster and things like that. And there we go. Let's do this thing really quick. There we go. Now we got that. So let's just walk through. I walk through and enemies are still dying pretty quickly. 255. Let's go. Intelligence. Long tooth again. Ring, dagger, okay. Chances are nothing super interesting. Dagger is condemnation, that's a rogue one. Your core skills deal 61% increased damage when spending 3 combo points. Your basic skills using this weapon have a 50% chance to generate 3 combo points. Okay. And Ring of the Ravenous. Ren's duration is increased by 6.2 seconds. Damaging enemies with your bronze skills applies 2 stacks of Rend. This effect can only affect each enemy once every 1 second. The thing is though, Ren sucks. Like Ren's not good. It does not do enough bleed damage. In fact, the only reason like the Flay build is so good is because of all the buffs to basic skills they added. They don't have enough adding to core skills to warrant that, I don't think. So I guess Tall Rosh's Iridescent Loop Wow, that's just kind of disappointing. They did not get much good items. I don't know if I really want to do a Tall Rasha's build, but you know, it's Tall Rasha's or Ring of the Ravenous. So Tall Rasha's it is, because that at least has some items, like some combos that I've been wanting to test out. Okay. Now I'm gonna go to my sorcerer. My sorcerer is only in Torment 3. Her name is Noob. I was originally trying to make this build that she has currently using this method, but the thing was I forgot to hit record, so it didn't. But this is like a firewall build, so it's actually pretty sweet. Oh yeah, I was looking at that. I was gonna take that one, I think. Yeah, take that over what I have. Is that Vox Omnium? Yes. Sweet. Okay. So this is why I wasn't too concerned with keeping that Tall Rasha's iridescent loop, because I have a pretty decent one. Let's see. Let me go to the armor really quick, save this build. Save. Yeah, it's a decent build. It might be better without Zafal's Corroded Signet, to be honest. But it's doing okay. That being said, though, refund all of that. Skill tree. Respec mode. Refund all. Confirm. Sweet. Take off all of my gear. Equip this. And then let's go and get some stats that I know I'm going to need. I do not know which of these I'm going to need, so respec mode. I know I'm going to want Enlightenment. This is casting any skill grants 1 stack of Enlightenment or grants 8 if their previous skill cast was a different element. After gaining 100 stacks, you become enlightened. You can no longer gain stacks and lose 10 stacks per second. While enlightened, your bonus damage with fire, lightning, and cold are equal to them combined, and you gain 25% damage, 45% mana regen, and 20% attack speed. Okay, so Frost Shock and Pyromancy skills deal 1% increased damage for each skill you have equipped of their type. This bonus is doubled if all of your skills are the same element. That is just useful to have, to be honest. I know I'm going to want Permafrost because I'm going to have a Frost skill. Summon a familiar matching the element of your last cast skill for 8 seconds. It seeks enemies and periodically explodes. You may have up to... I guess I'll go familiars. Do I want to go familiars? What are these? Elements now follow a set cycle through fire, cold, and lightning when you cast any skill. While you have at least 2 different elemental familiars active, you gain 3% damage reduction. That is nice. While you have an active familiar, you deal 10% increased damage of its type. I'm going to go with that one. But let's kind of take a look. Let's see what I might want to actually utilize. Chain lightning can be useful, but let's see here. I'm probably not going to want Arc Lash, to be honest. I could do a Conjuration build. Let's do Lightning Spear. Yeah, lightning spear. Primordial binding. This. I'm gonna be using cooldowns a lot. So I'll probably want a Harlequin crest on this. Summon a pair of ice blades. Ice blades gives the cooldown to other things. Frozen orb applies vulnerable. Let's go with that. Lucky hit. Let's do Hydras also burn enemies. Let's go. Dealing burning damage has a 10% chance to heal you for 4% of your max life and unleash a firebolt at a nearby enemy. So I might actually go with that. I definitely want glass cannon. This one. Definitely that. Definitely that. Okay. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm thinking here. I'm thinking. The thing is, like, let me confirm that. I'm thinking if I have that in this, then casting a pyromancy, shock, or frost skill increases your damage by 28%, and then I can have casting frozen orb has a chance to spawn a random conjuration. Your conjurations have up to an 88% chance to increase frozen orb damage. So let me frozen orb there, firebolt there. This on 3, this on 2, this on 1. Something like this. Let me go check. Where's... Oh, there's the waypoint. I was like, where's the waypoint? I can't find it. Okay, so let's go to the den, see if they have any of those things. Ooh. Hold on, I gotta take a moment here. Okay. Sorry about that. I might have to end this earlier than I intended, depending on how it all goes. But I'm gonna be keeping an eye out on these messages. I don't think I can ignore them too much. Okay, movement aspect, these are all going to be boots. Okay, Let's see here. Maximum health and mana per second, intelligence mana per second, dodge chance. Let's go with intelligence mana per second, dodge chance. Let's go with these. Rings, awesome. Intelligence, max life, crit chance. Okay. Okay, let's go with this one. Get rid of the rest.
I'll try to make this quick.
Resupply that. Alright. That's gonna be, I want this one.
Carry the one.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, what I'm trying to do here is just kind of get some basic equipment. That's not ideal, but I'll take it. Not ideal again, but I'll take it. That one's pretty good, actually. That one's a lot better, so I'll take it. No, I'll keep the one I got. Keep the one I got.
I've been practicing.
I'll take those, and actually, I think I'm going to keep most of what's on there. I might re-roll that max health, though. Let's do one more resupply. Utilities, let's go with that. Boss summoning, defensive. Utility, boss summoning, defensive. Let's go with, well, of course I got everything but the other item. Let's don't need that helmet. Don't need those pants. It's a better helmet. No. Intelligence, no. Well, yeah, no. No. Oh, chest armor? No. Doubt it, but yeah, none of those. Sweet. So then as far as like weapons go, I guess I can go with this one. Casting a core skill additionally fires 2 instances of firebolt or frostbolt or spark matching the elements of your last 2 non-core skills. No, I don't actually want that. Not on this. Not on this. Let's go check my stash for some items. I want focus. No, not that one. What? I mean, I'm going to go with this sword, because I might as well. Then I just need a focus. And I don't got one.
And yes, all balanced out.
Okay. Let's see here. Let's go just a bit of these. Nothing good. Let's try a little bit more. I don't want to take up too much though. There we go. That's good enough. Intelligence, max life damage. Nice.
Until next time.
Sweet. Okay. What's the lucky chance of frozen orb? 5%. Yeah. 6%, 19%, 12%. Let's see here. Abilities, skill tree. Bam. This. Let's kind of take a look. Core skills do more damage. Increase maximum mana. I don't care. I don't really care about potent warding too much. Okay. So let's get some cooldown reduction. I'm going to want that. But I can max out 5 passives. 5 more passives. Let's see here. So Frozen Orb and Lightning Spear are going to be my main damage dealers. You are more of to get it other stuff. You're just so that the summoned Hydras are more powerful. Deal increased damage while healthy. Pyromancy skills deal increased crit damage. Your cold damage against vulnerable enemies generate 20% chance to generate mana. I don't think I'm going to need that. Increased damage to vulnerable enemies. Enemies deal 6% less damage for 5 seconds after being critically struck by your shock skills. I think I actually do want that. Because that's damage reduction. Increased chance to get crackling orbs. Let's go. Increased damage to crowd controlled enemies. Berries have 8% increased duration. Let's see here. Or just increased damage. Okay. So let's take a look at these. I suppose I could put this on 4. When you summon, each time you summon a conjuration that isn't a familiar, you have a 25% chance to summon a familiar of the same type. And then you are, what are you? I think I'm going to do that one. Yeah. So, let's go over some aspects. I'm not going to enchant too much, but aspects I can do. Crackling energy has a 53% chance to deal 40% increased damage and chain to an additional enemy. Nice, nice. Casting a Pyromancy, Shock, and Frost skills conjures a matching elemental dagger around you that pierces through enemies, dealing 4,000 damage after 3 seconds. The damage increases by 100% per matching elemental skill you cast. Yes, I want that. I want that. Let's check other things. Aspect of elements. Increased burning damage? No. Frozen Orbit. Frozen Orb deals 43% increased damage and explodes in additional time. Yes, that is very useful. When enemy falls below 35% life. Okay, wait, no. I want... Casting a Pyromancy, Shock, or Frost skill increases your mana regen. Total bonus is increased to 108%. Maybe. Yeah. Charged bolts pierce, distant enemies, meteorites fall around meteor. Explodes apply chance to apply vulnerable. And the vulnerable duration is increased. You gain 30% vulnerable damage. That is nice. Critical hits with lightning spear cause the spear to arc targets. I might do that. If you have no defensive, ooh, that is good. When a conjuration skill hit, you have a 38% chance to gain +1 rank to your conjuration skills for 5 seconds. Lightning, no. Okay. So let's go to the lightning spear one. Okay. Casting conjuration skill grants 29% damage reduction. Yes. Casting a... I'm gonna want that thing.
That's a good omen.
Got 2 left. This one is pretty nice. So I might do that. Flame shield I'll do. And let's look at movement. Yeah, I'll just take that one. Well, no, I'll take this one.
Ah, nun that is.
So this is not having any bonuses, any tempers. I just want to test it out, and I'll see how it behaves. Not seeing any, I'm not seeing a lot of damage. It is surprisingly tanky for, like, everything that it has so far. It just doesn't do a lot of damage. Interesting. Interesting. Does not do a lot of damage. I mean, it doesn't have any Paragon board. I don't... Sorry, those messages I was getting kind of took me out of the mood of doing this. Oof. It's not ideal. I gotta... I mean, if I'm not feeling it, I'm not feeling it. I'm gonna leave it here. I'm not in it for right now. I do want to make this build work, so I think next time I am gonna try to make this build work. Or I might just try to make a different build on a character that I want to play a little bit more, and that might help. But I think, yeah, I'm gonna call it here. I'm gonna let it be for now. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. I hope everyone has a good day, though. Hopefully, people get better news than the news I got. Hope everyone has a wonderful day.